people. If I leave you out right now, don't worry about it. That'll come later on. We're going to thank our FCCLA for helping serve tonight, and Ken at Blue Jeans Pizza for catering this thing for us. We're going to go ahead and eat first tonight and get that out of the way, and then we'll go into the award ceremony later. Okay? We're going to ask Chase Culpepper's going to come up and lead prayer for us.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us all gather here today, celebrate a season, and just may you bless this food, help it nourish our bodies, and just may we have a great time tonight. We pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chase. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, we're going to let the players go first. Players, if you don't care, start the line down this wall. Coaches, you and your families can go behind them.
We're just going to start the evening thanking some people that have been really important to our programs. Me and Coach Culpepper have kind of divided that in half, so everybody's not, thanking everybody twice. So if I don't mention you, you'll probably get mentioned. But to start out, we want to thank especially our local businesses. We were given a lot of money this year through our Booster Club. Our community support has been tremendous this year for our basketball programs. We couldn't list them all if we wanted to, but for anyone here that's involved with a local business that gave money, thank you so much for everything you do for the kids. We definitely want to thank them. We also want to thank our bus drivers. They don't get a lot of recognition, but Junior Dillinger, Jeff Kaler, and Daryl Davis took us on all our bus trips this year. We really appreciate what they do, and if you've ever walked out of a gym sweaty on a January night when it's 20 degrees outside and they've got that bus running and it's warm, you'll know how much you appreciate them. So we're really thankful for everything they did for us this year as well. At this time, I know Chris Seabolt's in attendance. If he'd come on up here. Chris has been an announcer here since I was in high school. I don't want to put a year on it and get it incorrect, but he has done a great service to our basketball programs. He has supported our basketball programs for years and years. For doing that, we've had him a plaque made this year, and Shan's going to present him with that now.
We didn't put a year on it on purpose because he's not done yet. We got another 20 or 30 years. We didn't put a number of years, but I believe it's 28 years. Okay? I debated on putting the year on there, but he's not done, so it just says in recognition.
We also want to thank Bill and Lane Prather. Lane is our bookkeeper. I think we decided she's been doing it at least 25, is that right? About 25 years she's been the bookkeeper. Her husband Bill allows us to use his parking lot to raise money for our Booster Club. They're great supporters of our programs. We want to recognize what they do. We did invite them, but they chose not to be here. They were happy to be invited. We said thank you so much. We love basketball, but we're not coming. In a very good way. In a very good way. But we definitely want to thank them. They do a lot. Keeping that book for a long time, letting us use that parking lot to raise money, it's a big deal for our programs. We definitely want to thank them as well. I want to personally thank my assistant coaches, Joe Breeden and Cassie Callahan. They were tremendous support for me being here my first year, especially from out of the gate. Joe was here. Things just, people don't even think of, where's the paperwork to file a bus request to go to camp? How does this work? How does that work? Where's this? Where's that? He was here to guide me through all that from day one. And Cassie, she's the younger. She's still got that energy. The girls really connect with her. That's an important thing to have on your staff. And you can tell they all look at it. They're all. She's been wonderful for us. Her and Coach Breeden have done a great job. And I just want to thank them for everything they've done. It means the world to me, the support you've given us this year. So. I also want to thank Coach Culpepper. He didn't know I was going to do this, but a lot of people don't understand the men's and women's head basketball coaches. We have to work together a lot. I mean, it's all the time. It's something every day, doing this and doing that. I played for Coach Culpepper. He was my JV coach a long time ago. I won't say the year. But that was just, I was telling my wife a while back, it's just been an awesome experience for him to be my coach, and then for me to come back and us work together for a year. And it's been an awesome experience, and I really appreciate all the advice you give me, Coach, and a lot of good advice and guidance through this first year. I appreciate that. And lastly, I want to thank my wife. Being a coach's wife is extremely difficult, as I'm sure Kathy knows as well, and some other wives in the room. A lot of nights of coming home at midnight. You know, when we went to Towns County, I had the flu. She had to drive me up there and drive me back. She's never complained, probably because she's probably a lot tougher than I am. She's pretty tough, former Lady Rebel. So I'm real proud of her. I love her more than anything. She's my rock, and I couldn't do this without her support. So, I love you.
Okay, a couple people I would like to thank. Administration. Where's Coach David Henson at? He already leaves? Oh, there he is, right there. Okay, he helped us out a lot behind the scenes. A lot of times we communicate on different things logistically here, referees, different things like that. Things that people don't realize kind of takes place behind the scenes to kind of make things happen on a game night. There's a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff. We just appreciate his support with that. My wife, Kathy here, her support. You know, I've been at this, a lot of you know I've been at this a long time, and I can honestly stand here and say that she has never complained about me spending a lot of time coaching or coming home late, you know, from late night basketball games or having late practice. She's never once complained about anything, and you know, I appreciate that. She's always let me do kind of what I feel like I want to do and what I feel led to do, so I appreciate her support with that. Assistant coaches, Coach Joe Breeden and Nathan Dean. It's kind of another one of those things where a lot of people don't realize, you know, we talk a lot before and after practice, on game nights, before the game, we're constantly talking, and I appreciate, you know, I'm always bouncing things off of these guys, and Coach Chastain as well. We always bounce things off of each other. And players don't realize it sometimes, but we're always kind of seeking advice and getting input, hopefully objective input about different things that we're trying to do. And I just appreciate all their help throughout the season. Booster Club members and parents, I'd like to thank you as well. There's a lot of people kind of play a hand in making the season go, kind of getting things out there. The $10,000 giveaway, so many of you gave your time and efforts, getting door prizes, cooking steaks. I mean, the list could go on, but it takes a lot of people to pull that giveaway off every year. And we've always had good participation with that, and I appreciate your work with that. The concession stand, you know, a lot of parents, you know, play a hand in making sure we've got things to serve there on game nights and making sure we got people there to work the concession stand. I just appreciate people being involved with that. Parking lot workers, you know, several of you in here I know man the parking lot. Mr. Prather is kind enough to let us use that parking lot, but it takes individuals, it takes parents involved to be able to be there and give up their Saturday and take up money. We appreciate that. That's easy money, as a lot of you know. People that put the program together. You know, I understand a lot of times we're concerned with practices and game strategy and that kind of thing, but the program does need to get done, and we do recognize that you parents spend some time working on that program. We appreciate it. Senior night organization, there's a lot that goes into that, and there again, a lot of times we're focused on, you know, game strategy and what needs to go happen in the game. We don't have a lot of time to think a lot of times about this, that, and the other with senior night, but a lot of you parents step forward. We appreciate that. Travel meals, you know, a lot of you know that some of these trips we go on, the region we're in, we travel a lot. Okay, geographically, we travel more than anybody in our region. And a lot of times our kids are away from home a pretty good while. So a lot of you work to make sure that we had travel meals with that. The banquet tonight, people involved with helping with the banquet, we appreciate that. But a lot of parents played a role in the Booster Club in making things kind of go tonight. We just appreciate that a whole lot. Coach Chastain, lastly, I want to thank him. It's kind of unique, like he was telling you a minute ago, when you coach a guy and then all of a sudden you're a co-worker and he's a head coach with you. It's a unique relationship because he knows me as coach, but then all of a sudden, you know, he's a head coach and I'm a head coach, and we're kind of bouncing things off one another. So that's been a unique situation this year that I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed kind of getting to know him, not just in a coach-player relationship, but a coach-coach relationship, which is a totally different dynamic. So hopefully he's gotten my sense of humor. I think he gets a kick out of my sense of humor sometimes, which can be kind of dry. But anyway, with that said, I think we'll go right into our awards.
Okay, before we get into the awards that are given by the coaches, Fetcher News is here tonight, and what they did over the course of the season was they named 10 players of the week over the course of the season, and the players that were named player of the week, they will receive, what we're going to do, we're going to call you up, we'll do the girls first, then the boys. They have a gift card for you here as well as a t-shirt. I will say this, if you would, please wait till after the banquet to get your t-shirt, because people will be getting honored and we'll be digging through t-shirt sizes. So we'll go ahead and give your gift card, and then when the banquet's over this evening, you can go over and see them and they'll get your t-shirt for you, okay? So we'll get started with that. So the first Fetcher News Player of the Week is Mackenzie Johnson. Second Player of the Week is Olivia Sisson. The third Player of the Week is Malia Stepp. The next Player of the Week is Morgan Holt. The next Player of the Week is Abby Ledford. Next Player of the Week is Reagan Henderson. Next is Becca Ledford. Next Player of the Week, Sadie Collins. Next is Emily Beavers. And our last Player of the Week for the girls, Reagan York. While they're lining up as well, I want to say one thing. We have our beautiful backdrop here tonight, so we just want to let everybody know at the end of the night, if you want to take pictures in front of the backdrop with your awards, that'd be a great thing. It'd be a beautiful place to take a picture, so that'll be there after the banquet. All right, Coach.
Okay, Fetcher News Boys Player of the Week, Brady Martin. Caden Twiggs. Kahutta Hyde. Chandler Kendall. Andre Bibbins. Chase Culpepper. Jalen Ingram. Dalla Myers. Daniel Garrison. And Joel Kinzer.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do is present athletic award winners, and our winners are our players that achieved a varsity letter this year as well. So I'm going to have our coaches help me out here. First athletic award winner, Reagan York. Next, Jenna Young. Next is Brooklyn Cole. Kennedy Harper. Becca Ledford. Priscilla Bautista. Mackenzie Johnson. Abby Ledford. Olivia Sisson. Morgan Holt. Sadie Collins. Emily Beavers. Reagan Henderson. Malia Stepp. We have one more certificate here. This certificate is a certificate of appreciation. It says, for outstanding service and commitment to the women's basketball program as our team manager, Ms. Kayla Cornwell. And I've already made my first rookie mistake. I have you go and sit down. For our letter award winners, I have your basketball pins that I was supposed to hand you as you came up, but I'll get those to you in just a moment. Okay. Next up is our certificates of academic achievement. These awards go to players that have a 90 grade point average or above without rounding, and the first recipient of the certificate of achievement is Becca Ledford. Next is Reagan York. Jenna Young. Brooklyn Cole. Kennedy Harper. Abby Ledford. Olivia Sisson. Sadie Collins. Morgan Holt. Reagan Henderson. And Malia Stepp.
Okay, the first certificates we're going to hand out for the boys. These are athletic awards. These are basketball athletic participation certificates. So if I call your name, just come up and get your certificate and slide all the way down. First one is Jake Jones. Jason Pearson. Coy Chambers. Gabe Lira. Gabe's not here. Gabe's not here? No. Jordan Bennett. Landon Norton. Eli Brisbane. And I have here a certificate of appreciation for Jonathan Payne. Jonathan, as you well know, served as our videographer all 25 games, well actually 24 maybe, right? Union you missed, right? Something like that. But anyway, John was very loyal. Jonathan did all of our film, did an outstanding job for us, so got a certificate for Jonathan for his. Good? All right, have a seat, guys. Okay, next awards we're going to hand out. These are varsity letter awards. Some of these guys, this is their first year receiving a varsity letter. Others, maybe this is their second year or more for receiving a varsity letter. The first year they receive a varsity letter, they get a basketball pin for their jacket. If they have, this is their second year or more lettering, then they receive a bar to go on their jacket. So the first letter award goes to Joel Kinzer. Next is Chandler Kendall. Nathaniel Garrison. Twiggs. Brady Martin. Chase Culpepper. Dalla Myers. Kahutta Hyde. Andre Bivens. Zach Jones. Jalen Ingram. Slide down a little bit, guys. Are we good? All right, let's see, guys. Okay, these last certificates are for academic achievement. Being a student athlete is a big job. You guys know the academic requirements these days are pretty high. The requirements on the court or on the field are high as well. So in order to participate in major sports like softball, baseball, basketball, football, some of these major sports, it's an incredible amount of time. And a lot of these guys, I know, have to juggle their academics along with their performance on the court or on the playing field. And sometimes that can be tough on kids. Studying on the way home sometimes, worried about what they made on a certain test while they're at an away basketball game or something. But these kids right here, these players on the boys basketball team, all have a cumulative grade point average of 90 or above without rounding up. So they're being commended for their performance on and off the court. The first recipient is Andre Bivens. Next is Nathaniel Garrison. Zach Jones. Joel Kinzer. Chase Culpepper. Chandler Kendall. Dalla Myers. Brady Martin. Good. All right, that's it, guys.
Okay, before we move on to plaques, I'm just going to take a moment and call out the players who lettered and let them receive their pins. I should have done that a moment ago. My apologies. First person, Becca Ledford. Priscilla Bautista. Abby Ledford. Olivia Sisson. Sadie Collins. Mackenzie Johnson. Morgan Holt. Emily Beavers. Reagan Henderson. And Malia Stepp. Okay. We're going to move on now to presenting the plaques that are on the table. The first plaque that I'm going to be presenting is going to be the JV Award. What we did is we went through and kind of statistically saw who made the biggest impact on our JV season. For the girls this year, there were two. First was Reagan York. The other was Kennedy Harper. Okay, for the boys, we also have two JV awards to give out for two boys who really kind of stood out. I think they're going to be outstanding moving forward. Good players. I think they're going to got a lot of good days ahead of them as basketball players. Enjoyed working with them and coaching this year. The JV awards go to Jordan Bennett. The other JV award goes to Landon Norton. Okay, the next award we're given is the Team Spirit Award. This award goes to a person who, no matter the situation, they're always happy, they always have a positive attitude, and they always kind of lift your spirits whenever you see them. For the girls, this year's Spirit Award goes to Emily Beavers.
Okay, for the boys, this player is winning this Team Spirit Award for us. This is a player that he was probably our best overall leader on the team. On practice, when we were in practice, this was the guy who would encourage people to do their best, you know, to come together. This was the guy in the locker room at halftime that was encouraging people. I thought he was a great leader for us. Okay, he was vocal. He always had a positive attitude. He always did things the right way. So to me, he kind of exemplifies what a team spirit leader is on our team, and that is Dalla Myers.
Okay, the next awards we're going to present, it's actually two separate awards that were given by people outside of the program. The first award, they kind of go hand in hand. It's all-region honorable mention. That means the coaches outside of us in the region voted on all-region team, and these players received votes, did not make first team but did receive votes, and as well as Players of the Month for the Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Club, which is the association that we belong to. So, the first player who received honorable mention for 7 AAA and was also Player of the Month for the Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Club is Abby Ledford. The next player who also received all-region honorable mention for Region 7 AAA, as well as Player of the Month for the Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Association, is Malia Stepp.
Okay, for the boys team, we also had 2 players who were selected as Region 7 AAA, all-region honorable mention. And in combination with that, they also received our Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Award Player of the Month. Our first representative is Kahutta Hyde. The other player we have is also all-region 7 AAA honorable mention, as well as Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Player of the Month, is Jalen Ingram.
Okay, the next award goes to the player from Fannin County's team that was first team all-region for 7 AAA. I think there were 12 members of the first team. That player was also deemed the women's basketball program of Fannin County's Player of the Year by the Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Club Association, and that is Morgan Holt.
Okay, the boys team also had 1 player selected to the Region 7 AAA all-region team, first team. There were 12 players selected for the boys. This player also receives the Player of the Year award for the Northwest Georgia Tip-Off Club, and that player is Chandler Kendall.
Okay, the next plaque that we'll be giving out is our varsity award winner for the Hustle Award, a player that plays with toughness and relentless effort, and this year's Hustle Award goes to Becca Ledford.
Everybody knows that coaches love players who hustle. Not just during the game, but I'm talking about hustling in a drill. We're doing drills sometimes. This player is going to receive this award. He never loafed in practice. What we call it coach. That's kind of coach talk a little bit. In other words, he didn't ever go half speed in any kind of drill we did. We were doing conditioning. This player always gave 110%. Always did things to the best visibility, whether it was in a drill, conditioning, or in the game. And as coach, you appreciate that when guys hustle, because sometimes hustling can be contagious and it can kind of rub off on people. So this is a really good award. This award goes to Chase Culpepper.
The next award to be given is the Most Improved Award, and that's the player on the team that the coaches felt like maybe we thought we knew what role they were going to be in, and all of a sudden they were somewhere else. And this year's Most Improved player is Abby Ledford.
Okay, Most Improved of the boys. This is a player, when I think about Most Improved, I think about, okay, last year at the end of the season through this year at the end of the season, who improved the most in my mind, okay? This player, probably, he continues to improve. He continued to improve throughout the season. I just wished he had another year or two to go. There's no telling how good he'll become. He's made tremendous improvements really the last couple of years. I'm really proud of him. And the Most Improved Award goes to Joel Kinsey.
All right, the next award to be given is the Coaches Award. The Coaches Award in the women's basketball program is named the Sabrina Gibson Memorial Award. I talked to Coach Farmer about this about a month ago, and I said, what does that mean? I said, I've got to give this award. What does that mean? And he said, of course, many of you know that Sabrina Gibson died at a young age, and the award was named in her honor. He said it's a Coaches Award that goes to someone that you think works hard, is willing to sacrifice for her teammates, and who embodies the work ethic what it means to be a Lady Rebel. And this year's Sabrina Gibson Memorial Award winner is Reagan Henderson.
Coaches Award. When I think about a Coaches Award, I try to think about what is in a player that a coach really likes. What kind of qualities does a coach really like? And this player immediately popped in my mind. This is a player that would never even think about getting a technical, thank goodness. He's not going to argue with a referee. He's not going to argue with anybody about anything. But but this kid shows up every day to practice and to every game to doing his best. He's quiet. He doesn't talk to a lot of people, but he's just a good kid. Enjoyed having him on the team. If you had 12 players like him on the team, it'd be a coach's dream. You can coach for 100 years like that. You never get old. Just a great kid and did everything that we asked him to do. Really contributed this year, and I just think a lot of it. This year's Coach's Award goes to Nathaniel Garrison.
Okay, the next award to be given is Offensive Player of the Year. This award was chosen looking statistically at the player that made the largest impact offensively, whether it be scoring, assist, offensive rebounds, in other areas, offensive efficiency, and things of that nature. And our leader in scoring and our Offensive Player of the Year this year was Morgan Holt.
Okay, the boys' Offensive Player of the Year. This player I know by far led us in assists. He may not have led us in points, but he did score a lot of points. He was simply responsible for a lot of our offensive production, whether he was dishing it out or scoring or making an extra pass or handling the ball for us, which he did a lot of that for us. Our Offensive Player of the Year is Kahutta Hyde.
The next plaque to be given is for our Defensive Player of the Year. This player led our team in steals. She also drew the most boxing one and matchup situations that when we wanted to really try to keep the ball out of somebody's hands or slow somebody down. And this year's Defensive Player of the Year is Mackenzie Johnson.
Okay, the boys' Defensive Player of the Year. This kid really for 2 years now, when we look at the other team, especially if we're playing man in that particular game, whoever the best players for the other team, this player is probably going to be guarded. And that can be a tall order some nights, but he's pretty much had that responsibility for 2 years and done an outstanding job at it for us. Our Defensive Player of the Year is Chandler Kendall.
Okay, the next award to be given is our Scholar Athlete Excellence Award. This award is given to the player with the highest GPA currently in our entire basketball program. And with a 4.0 GPA this year, senior Reagan Henderson.
Okay, for the boys, the Scholar Athlete Excellence Award going to the player in our program with the highest grade point average overall goes to Chase Culpepper.
Our last plaque here goes to our team's most valuable player, the player that we felt had the largest statistical impact on the game, both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. And this year's MVP goes to Morgan Holt.
Okay, for the boys team, most valuable player. If you think about a most valuable player, it's kind of a traditional award in sports. You think, as a coach, you think about, okay, what player would I hate to have to do without? Or which player would I least like to be without any given time? Who's the most valuable to you? And unfortunately for us, about the first third of the season this year, we were without him, and we sure were glad to get him when we did. And he had a great senior year. I know he wished he'd got to play a little bit more. The injuries kind of got in the way at the beginning of the season. Our most valuable player is Chandler Kendall. Okay, that concludes our awards. What we would like to do is if we could get all the girls and boys seniors up here, just for a second. Boys, girls, you can line up right here. Boys, you can line up right there. Just for a second. Just a couple things. We wanted to call these, Coach Chastain and I talked about this, we want to call these seniors up here. You know, we do recognize that, you know, this is kind of their last basketball event in high school. And these guys have put in a lot of time, a lot of sweat, you know, a lot of everything that goes along with any kind of basketball season. You know, they put in a lot of time, and we just appreciate everything that they've done. We just want to kind of recognize them kind of one last time. A lot of you know, I'll say this. One of the great things about our job as an educator, I'll try to get through this. We get to see these guys in the classroom. I teach all these guys, well, except for Dolly. Okay. I hadn't taught any of it. But when you have these guys in the classroom and you've known them for a lot of years, you see them come in as ninth graders, okay, and you have them in the classroom and you teach them in the classroom, you have one relationship with them. And then you go out on the basketball floor and it's kind of a different dynamic relationship. It's probably one of the most rewarding things about what we do as educators is that different relationship you have in the classroom and then out on the court. And I hope they've enjoyed it as much as I have. It's really a thrill for me, and it's very rewarding for me to be able to see these guys grow up. It's another thing, is we get to see these guys as freshmen come in, and we get to see them leave as young men. And watching that maturation process, physically, mentally, emotionally, dealing with girlfriend breakups and the whole 9 yards along the way. It's a really rewarding experience to watch these guys mature and grow up. These are outstanding young men. Okay, if I didn't believe it, I just wouldn't say anything. Okay, but these are outstanding young men. They're all really quiet, except for maybe Dollar. They don't talk a lot. Joel talks a little bit sometimes, not much. But these are really quiet guys. They're excellent young men. They're all different. They got different qualities, but they're good people. And they're going to make good citizens, and they're going to do good things in life. I'm sure they're all going to go their separate ways, but this is kind of their last basketball event, kind of the first of several lasts for them, because they're headed down the path towards graduation. So I know it's kind of a bittersweet thing for them, myself, as well as the girls senior, I'm sure. But just want to thank them and give them one last round of applause for all they've done for the program.
know, it's kind of hard to put into words kind of how surreal this whole first year, this being my first year as a head coach, has been. And I think I've told them this before, but they'll always be my first class of seniors. Like, they'll always be remembered in my mind as my first group of seniors. And that includes Kayla too, you know, even though she, you know, these kids, they work their butts off, they do. But we've talked a lot since the beginning for our parents that were at our first parent meeting all the way to the ones that are sitting here now about trying to build a different kind of culture in our locker room, in our program. And I couldn't have asked for a better group to kind of, and they took the bull by the horns from day one. They really brought all the girls in the program together. At the end of the year, we've started doing what I call exit interviews, calling the players in some, and the younger kids, the number one thing they said that they loved was the chemistry that was created in our locker room, that it really felt like a family. Everybody was really together, and that this is them. Like, they did that. It started right there from the top. They had to be the ones to come in and say, all right, we're going to do things a little different, and we're going to love everybody up, and it's going to be like a family. And that'll be their legacy in my mind forever. Like that'll rise above everything else, because they could have chose to go a different direction than they did, but they really created a family and a team environment in our locker room. And I'll always, you're the first group to do that. I'll always be grateful for the leadership you gave our locker room your senior year. And they're all super smart kids. They're going to go on to do great things in life. I can't wait for them to come back and tell me about the good things they're doing in life. This isn't, you know, end of the road thing. I see most of them during the day anyway. Right, Miss Beavers? Yeah, every morning. Yeah. So I really think the sky's the limit for what they can do, but I just can't put that into words, and I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but the standard that you guys set in my first year as the head coach, I'll never forget that, ever. So always come back and see me. I love you guys, you know I do, because I tell you all the time, and I wish you nothing but the best in life.
Business to take care of. We'll try to get through as quick as we can. I'm not too good at this kind of thing. I want to start off by saying, and these two ladies are going to be mad at me for saying this, and I'm not going to go through thanking everybody because I'll miss people, but there is a couple of people I want to mention. My wife, Teresa Martin, and Allison Johnson have given countless hours to this booster club and this program. And there's been a lot of others. But these two have been there anytime I needed something from them. All I had to do was say the word. And they kept this thing running really smooth for us this year. I just want to give them a round of applause. I'm not going to make them stand up because they ended up throwing something at me, but thank you for all your help. I want to touch on our Facebook and our Instagram. If y'all ain't familiar with that, most of you I know are. Check it out. A lot of good things have happened. We've had player profiles all through the week, or through the year, week by week. As Coach touched on, the biggest thing we heard out of every player just about is family. We worked hard to make a community involvement in this program this year, and it went great. And I'm proud of how everybody stepped up. I want to thank the coaches for all y'all have done. It's been great. Players, y'all are the show. Y'all are what fills the stands. You're what people come to see. Okay? Remember that. It's all about y'all in the end. Okay? Families, I can't thank you enough. Everybody done so much. Sponsors, everybody knows how Fannin County is. When you need something, it's there. All you got to do is ask. The school, Mr. Hanson, all the support we've received from the school, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Bus drivers, they're not here. I talked to a few of them. I don't know. They touched on all these. I know they have. I'm going through it quick. We do have Chris here. Chris, I want to say thank you for all you've done. We do have another gift for you, so you're going to have to come back up here. So, come on. I started to do this a while ago, but I just want to see his pretty face again. Those gentlemen right here. We also want to recognize Wayne. We also want to recognize Miss Prather and all she's done. But with that said, we'll move on to coaches. Coaches, every year we try to do a little something, you know, and I don't know how these work out. These are boys coaches first. Okay. Coach Steve. Thank you. Senior girls, I need y'all back up here. Come on. Come on, come on here. These girls have their own way of doing things. That's why we love them. Who do y'all want to start with?
I got Coach Chastain.
Coach Chastain, come on up, buddy.